So, what is this eclipse all about? We've got a full moon eclipse in Pisces, and this is a deep reset point for your manifestation power, your ability to connect with the limitless, expansive part of you, and to bring your visions into form with clarity and precision and very practical, making it happen step-by-step actions. I'm going to take you through this. This eclipse is the first in a series of two eclipses we're going to have in September 2025. We are entering into a period of rapid, amplified, accelerated change. And this first eclipse is about really releasing whatever is in the way. And we'll look at specifics in this video. Whatever's in the way of you really connecting to your ability to bring your manifestations in a much clearer, stronger, immediate way. This eclipse takes the expansiveness of Pisces, where you are connected to the universe, connected to your spiritual power, your connection, meets the energy of Virgo, which is all about clarity, precision, detail, organization, step by step making it happen, as well as about taking care of the physical body and the connection to being in a body and the fact that this is literally how we manifest, is by being here on Earth, creating what you're up to. So we are, again, moving into this portal space in between these eclipses. And I'm going to show you how to lean into this, clear what needs to be released so that everything you are creating actually has the space to come in. And in this video, I'm going to break down the three most important energy patterns to tune into to activate this manifestation power over the next couple of weeks for yourself. I'm going to give you an action step or ritual for each one that I'm going to share. I'm also going to tell you the exact dates to look back on to see some key Saturn lessons that are wrapping up and why this is so important for what you're bringing in right now. And we're going to look at the shadow patterns that this eclipse is asking you to release for good. So you have the ability and again, the space to actually hold the abundance, the connection, the joy, all of the beautifulness that you're here to create on this life, in this life. We're clearing out what's in the way, allowing you to have space for everything that wants to come in. So I'll invite you to just land in your seat with me as we get started. Let yourself feel your breath. Let your body feel everything I say, even more than your mind, because we're going to invite the insight from your deeper knowing to come through as I share. So eclipses tend to bring a release of something, like something you are ready to be done with. Maybe it's being eclipsed out, we might say. And this eclipse is interesting first because it is conjunct a point called the North Node, which is all about destiny moving forward into the future. And that means it's opposite the South Node, which is all about the past, things we want to release and clear, and also about the South Node also holds ancestral and karmic energy and what you might have accumulated that isn't yours, that you are ready here to release and clear or transmute or let go of. So just know that as we talk through this, whatever you're releasing right now and whatever pieces you land on as I spell out what to look for, it's likely that it's not just yours, but it's inherited karmic past life stuff you are ready to be done with and are releasing for good. So we are like pruning the branches of the tree here, making space for the new surge of growth. So eclipses on the Pisces Virgo axis, which is what this is, bring up the tension between Pisces, which is the energy of the dreamer, your deep connection. And by the way, everyone has this energy. Sometimes I hear people say, oh, I don't have Pisces or Virgo in my chart. That's not true. You do. We're looking at how you connect to the balance between the part of you that is energetic, expansive, limitless, connected to all of the power in the universe, how you balance the connection to that with the reality of being here in a physical body and needing to go through your day and meet your schedule and do the things you need to do. Where do those two energy patterns connect? How do they intersect? That is what this eclipse is all about. We are releasing wherever in that process for you, things get gunked up, where things either get too much into the Pisces or the shadow side of Pisces energy, which includes dreaminess without grounding, floatiness, having lots of visions, but they never come into form. Pisces, the shadow of Pisces also holds escapism or avoidance or even addictive behaviors. So, wherever you may be floating off, disconnecting from the here and now, the grounded, practical steps that need to happen, that might be coming forward for you. Pay attention to what you notice as I chat, and I'll bring you into some more clarity with this as we go. So Pisces is the dreamer, limitless, visionary. Virgo is the craftsperson, the artisan, the detailed, organized, bringing it into form. Shadow sides of Virgo energy might be perfectionism, getting stuck in the details, judgment either of yourself or taking on other people's judgment of you, real or perceived, overanalyzing, being stuck in your head and disconnected from the source of inspirational energy pouring in. Can you feel how, and can you drop into this with me right now and just feel how we want both of these channels wide open in the clearest, most healthy, optimal possible ways? We want the energy pouring in. We want the clarity, the precision, the groundedness, the detail, and the structure without getting lost into either. So, the first thing this eclipse asks you to look at, and I'll invite you to explore this now, is where in that spectrum do you fall? And we're never one or the other. We're typically, a mix of all the energy showing up different kinds of ways. But where do you tend to get either stalled out or slowed down? Do you tend to go into driftiness, ungroundedness, waiting for things to happen? When we're looking at this through a nervous system health perspective, this might be related to being in some freezy patterns where there's lots of visions and lots of connection, but maybe things get stalled or don't come fully into form. So do things more get stalled in that way for you? Or do you more tend to get trapped in perfectionism or judgment or criticalness or maybe a drivenness to always need to work harder without allowing the inspiration in? Is it a mix of these? Can you take a moment and just feel into where and how the different sticky places show up for you? You might even want to jot some notes if that feels good. And just know that the medicine here, the through line is the integration of all of it. We're not making any or either of this energy wrong, but holding the expansive vision with grounded precision. So just noticing again, and you can also notice anything in your body that you're aware of as we talk about this, where this process tends to get stalled or stuck for you. And with that, what may want to get released for you in this eclipse. And I'll show you how to ritualize that. All right, there's a few more interesting aspects to this eclipse, and I'll just go through them briefly. Notice what pings you. These will land in different ways depending on how this eclipse hits your personal chart. But there's also an opposition to Vulcan, which is all about the energy of being forged in the fire. So this is a not a light eclipse. This is a burning away what's not aligned so that something unbreakable, strong can emerge. There is also an opposition to Mercury, highlighting the mind and ideas. Be aware of excessive mental chatter, the overthinking, critical self loops, anything like that. And don't let the mind hijack your manifestation channel. All right, the next piece I want to mention is that Saturn is right now retrograding back into Pisces. I'm going to give you some dates to look at because Saturn going back into Pisces right now, when a retrograde happens, it's like we are revisiting something that we've already gone through. You could even look back to the dates, which I'm going to give you. And Saturn in Pisces is all about bringing structure and form to your spiritual practice and to the connection that you have to that Pisces energy. So it's exactly what we're talking about in a different way with this full moon eclipse. The fact that Saturn has just retrograded back into Pisces to revisit the final mastery level lessons of Saturn in Pisces is really interesting that it's happening at the same time as this eclipse. So where you might think back to is around March of 2023 through June of 2025. These are the dates that Saturn was moving through Pisces. And when Saturn was moving through Pisces, it was inviting you to up your level of structure, show up and do it, do the work in the most real, healthy, grounded possible way around your spiritual practice, around your spiritual connection. It was like no more bypassing, no more floating, no more avoiding what you're here to do as a spiritual being here in a physical body. Like there's a way that at the end of the day, you just got to show up and do it. This is not about driving yourself or pushing yourself beyond what is right. It's about meeting what's right for you. It's about meeting that right point of your, again, your energy meets form and showing up truly, showing up in the moment and doing it. This is the lesson of Saturn in Pisces. And again, we have Saturn has just retrograded back into Pisces to revisit and wrap up any lessons that may want to like tie the bow on them from March 2023 through June 2025 related to time to bring form, discipline, structure, do the work in the right way to your spiritual practice. This is what you are here to do. You are here to manifest powerfully. You do that by showing up. You do it by doing what you need to do. So, Saturn in Pisces right now invites you to like bring a healthy checkpoint to that. Where have you brought diligence and alignment and consistency to your inner work? And are there any kind of final for this round of lessons adjustments that want to be made? And you can take a moment to just check in with yourself and notice where Saturn, the great teacher, may be asking you to elevate your standards for yourself. This is the healthy, true nature of Saturn. Saturn tends to get a bad rap in astrology, and sometimes people think of it as being all about like drudgery and ugh. But Saturn at its essence is showing up truly, mastery, raising standards, and the undeniable results that happen when you do that. So, want to move into manifesting your highest timeline and life. Notice Saturn right now. Notice where you're being asked to elevate your standards, to truly show up for yourself, to truly show up for your spiritual gifts and what they're asking of you, and where you can elevate those standards with consistency, with presence, with diligence, just a bit more. All right. The last aspect of this before we go into some rituals that I want to mention is Venus is in Leo right now. Venus represents your heart center. It also represents your values, so it includes money. It's about like giving and receiving, including love, including money. And Venus in Leo wants to shine, wants to radiate, wants to be fully self-expressed, wants to receive back from being visible and letting your true gifts be shown. So what's interesting about this eclipse is that it is Venus is over in Leo. Sorry, I need to check my transits real quick. Is it opposite? Yeah, it's opposite. Okay. Venus in Leo is opposite. No, it's not. That's why I needed to check. I was like, I'm feeling like I'm saying something wrong. Venus in Leo is at the inconjunct angle. Okay, so the inconjunct angle is like, it's not an overwhelming obstacle by any means, but you're being asked to make kind of a subtle new choice. So let me tell you what that's about. Venus in Leo asks you to fully show up, to radiate your gifts, to radiate your value, to maybe let your value shine a little bit brighter, maybe let your heart and your essence shine a little bit brighter. This is happening, and the inconjunct to this eclipse asks you to notice, is there a small or subtle adjustment having to do with something about maybe showing up and radiating brighter or more boldly? Is there a small, subtle adjustment in that realm that is connected to whatever you're releasing? So maybe what you're releasing in this eclipse has to do with an energy of not being seen or not being valued, or maybe there is a literal relationship that has run its course, or a situation that no longer serves you. Is there some way that you are being asked to show up brighter, shine bolder? And is that connected to something you're being asked to release? So I'll invite you to notice that. And I've got one more. I said that was the last, but nope, there's one more important, very important transit here. We have Jupiter, the planet of expansion, goodness, abundance, all of the goodness of being alive, hanging out in Cancer, the realm of the emotions, the most tender, innermost places. And Jupiter right now is in a trine to this eclipse, which means it's in a sextile to the sun. This is a very powerful, supportive aspect. It means that as intense as this release process might be for you, depending how it's hitting your chart, might be pretty intense, but there is a powerful supportive trine from Jupiter. And the way this support is coming in is through the realm of your emotional body and your ability to connect to the goodness and the beautifulness of the emotional realm. So, what that means in practical terms is even when things are challenging, and if they are challenging right now, can you tap into the goodness, the emotions, the power of what you can create and what you can vision? Know that we're going into that amplified period right now, and know that things can look very, very different on the other side of these next couple of weeks when you lean into all this energy. You're supported in that by being willing to go inward into the most emotional places. And sometimes and often a piece of that is meeting the painful emotions that want to be felt. So when I say tap into the emotional goodness, that might mean, and very likely does mean, meeting the challenging emotional stuff along the way and allowing your body to feel that truly and to move through it. When we truly feel emotions, they move through. That's what emotional energy does. So, is there emotion that wants to rise up, be felt, move through you as a part of this process that is also connected to how you are releasing what is in the way of you calling in your ultimate goodness? So, Inconjuncts, again, often feel like just kind of a subtle shift. So notice if there is a low grade, like, oh, just something I need to shift a bit that has to do probably with you like showing up either bolder or brighter or more radiantly or connecting to your value more. Notice if that's there, and also notice how you can lean into the emotional journey of this eclipse, and that emotional journey is here to support you, even and especially if you hit places that feel like emotionally ugh stuff. That's all there to be released to by being felt. Jupiter also magnifies whatever it touches, so this could make things feel extra big for you. Keep remembering when things feel big, especially around an eclipse, it's just energy that feels big. The mind doesn't need to put any more meaning on it because the old stuff you're releasing might want to say, oh, this means blah, 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 blah. Notice if there's some of those thought patterns that are what you're wanting to release. All right. Let me recap the three big themes here and give you a ritual or action step for each one if you'd like to get this energy activated and moving in your body and your life. Let's make some stuff happen. All right, so theme number one is about clearing blocks so you can activate your future path. Once again, this eclipse conjuncts the North Node, which means it opposes the South Node. It's all about clearing the past so your future has room to grow. I'm going to invite you to notice if there is something coming to mind or something you simply want to choose that is one belief, habit, or pattern that you know you've outgrown. Just notice what is there for you. And you can hold this and hold this with awareness and intention. You can write it down if you'd like. And I'm going to invite you as you move through the eclipse over the next couple of days, and this energy will last for a couple of days, to intentionally release, clear, and you can do a ceremony if you like with burning, tearing up, doing something with this piece of paper. And, you may want to do some clutter clearing and physical space clearing along with this. We're on the Pisces Virgo axis, and regardless of where you fall on this axis, Virgo loves clearing and decluttering and releasing. So if you want to do some space clearing, physical or digital, some organization, clear what's not serving you, hold the energy of one belief, habit, emotional pattern that you are intentionally clearing, and write it down, tear it up, bury it, burn it, mark the release so that your system here in the physical knows you've had a shift here. So that's number one, clearing blocks, activating your future. Number two is about turning limitless vision into grounded form. So once again, we are holding the truth of your expansiveness, that Pisces energy, with the truth of your ability to bring it into form through step by step by step. Choose one dream, a vision that either you're in now, or maybe it's kind of on the horizon and it wants to come in clearer. What is your next action step? Write it down, sketch it, give yourself one small next doable step. Anchor that dream into form. And doing this with intention is even bigger than the literal results your action step will have, because we are consciously saying, I am partnering with this eclipse energy and I am being part of the universe that knows how to manifest. Here's how it works. I take my vision, I put it into form right now. Go do a step today. Do one small step today. That's my challenge invitation for you. And my third invitation for you is remembering that this eclipse has a forged in fire and rooted in feeling nature to it. This is all about the support and, again, like the clarity, the rock solidness that makes expansion real. So Saturn and Vulcan and Virgo are all bringing the discipline, the structure, the purification. Jupiter in Cancer with that trine offers a supportive emotional release. So together there is this emotional strength happening through the heart. So I'm going to invite you as your third piece to pause at some point during these couple of days. You can do it right now if you like. And just notice what emotion may be alive in your body. And allow it to be there. Allow yourself to feel it. Allow it to be here without analyzing or judgment. And if you'd like, you can connect to your body in some way and intentionally anchor the wisdom that's coming through. It may not come in this moment, but your body is anchoring it in this moment. Allow yourself to know that as this divine being in physical form, you are the holder of all this emotional energy, and you're able to skillfully, easily move it through. Anchor that in this eclipse. So remember, we're entering this portal here. New moon eclipse is coming up in just a couple of weeks. Make sure you stay in touch and subscribe and stay with me, so we'll talk about that more. And as you move through this eclipse, I would love to hear if you'd like to share, what are you releasing right now? What are you calling in? Drop me down in the comments if you'd like me to hold this with you. I will hold the intention with you. And remember that this eclipse is a clearing, a deep reset for that manifestation power to come in. Please like and subscribe and stay in touch if this has been helpful. And sending you all the abundant, beautiful full moon eclipse energy today and always. Take great care. See you soon.